Hey y'all, it's Lindsey. I have a package from Nutrisense. What is Nutrisense? It is a program that utilizes a continuous glucose monitor to help you achieve the health that you want, and it comes with an app. You don't need a doctor's prescription to attain a CGM. They come with your actual script. It comes with a quick start guide, the actual CGM, and a little patch to protect it. Do not lose the patch. The patch is very helpful. All right. We need to get this installed and then allow it its 1 hour time to actually become activated. And then we can start testing all the things. Let's get this thing installed and then try stuff out. We're gonna go from this angle because I need a mirror. My dresser has a mirror and yeah. Okay, so there, I need the quick start guide. Quick start guide in hand. You are gonna need your phone and we are going to need our Nutrisense app. I need to add a new device, so I am gonna go up to the little hamburger up in the corner. I'm gonna go down to the settings menu, and then I'm going to click on sensor. I need to activate a new sensor. Big giant green button at the bottom of the screen. We need to apply the sensor. Alcohol pad. Left or right, left or right, left or right, I don't know. We're doing right. I'm gonna take the Freestyle Libre and peel it up if I can. We have peeled. My arm is almost dry. We have the applicator. We have the Freestyle Libre applicator. There is a marker here, a plastic marker. There is a marker on the actual sensor container. We line them up. We press it down. I feel like we've got Papa John's little like garlic sauce here. We pull it out. We now have a sensor inside the applicator. And next, double checking. You don't want your arm to be like firm or like, you know, flexed. Let's see how far out. Does that feel good? We press it in, we lift it off, and we have applied the sensor effectively. Yes, winning at life. Next piece is our We sticker. Definitely use the sticker. It does have a bit of like a little piece of protective material over top of the circle. I think that leaving that on is better because that means when you go to replace this, it will not have that stuck to the sensor itself. I peeled off half of the sticker protector, and then I'm going to slowly remove the other half. Don't know if you can see any of this. We are in the mirror observing ourselves. Fiddly little fella. Don't move, don't move. I know this angle is just fantastical for you, but there we go. Also, upside down. What's up? But it's right side up when I do this. I'm going to scan to activate. We are scanning. It has checkmarked me. Okay, so I can begin scanning my sensor in 1 hour, and I need to make sure to scan this once every 8 hours. It's a very simple process. The Bluetooth action sensors are way less involved, for sure. However, right now, this is the particular type of CGM that comes with the Nutrisense program. So we are going to use this. This is the Freestyle Libre 14-day. We've got exactly 2 weeks starting now to test all the things and gain all the information. Let's do this. Hello. It has been about 2 hours since I installed my CGM from Nutrisense, and that means that I actually have some data right here. I don't know if it's going to pop it up there. So I started out, my very first reading happened at 10:36 a.m. and it was 112. Terrifying, actually. I mean, I have been fasted this entire day. I started off the day with black coffee. I did put iodine in my coffee, and that's not something I feel like I regularly share anymore. But yes, iodine is still an active part of my life. And then my glucose dropped a little bit, and then it rose, and then it dropped, and presently my glucose, if I can get the cursor where it needs to be, is at 99. Not ideal, especially considering the fact that I'm fasting. However, I have also made note in the past that my cortisol likely spikes between, or likely rises between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., which is also typically correlated with a rise in glucose so that you have that dawn phenomenon. And usually that's when my ketones drop. I have been following a keto-friendly way of life since 2016, except for when I was pregnant with my third, and there, you know, like there was a blip. Pregnancy kind of threw wonky things into the mix. Keto has been my lifestyle for a very long period of time. Gosh, 2016, how many years is that? 7 years, 7.5 years technically. So I'm definitely seasoned in this, and I believe that my body has grown more and more efficient the longer that I have done this. And at this point in the game, I am somewhat interested in eliminating some of the excess fluff that I have. And I know that part of that is contributed to the fact that I don't really track anything. I don't care to track anything. I don't care about volumes of food, but I kind of feel like I should care about the volume of nuts that I consume. So there's a thing. Okay, tangent aside, we're all done with that. I will be fasting until I don't know when. When I do have food and break my fast, I will let you know. I'm also gonna keep scanning my CGM because it becomes a little bit obsessive with me when I first get a new sensor. Hello. Okay, it is 12:45, 12:47. I just scanned my CGM and my blood sugar has steadily declined. It is now at an 88, which that encourages me greatly. It's been less than 1 hour since my 99 reading, and so less than an hour to come down 11 points tells me things are happening in a positive way. Hello. Okay. I'm not gonna eat anything right now, even though my stomach is grumbling and I feel the pain of hunger. I'm gonna press on because I have my chat with Neely here in a few minutes. I'm gonna get through that, and then I will be breaking my fast. And I'd like to test things that I would eat normally on my keto way of life, but things that I would not actually like weigh or measure, i.e. pecans. Pecans are always the bane of my existence. I love pecans. Pecans, ugh, they're so addictive to me. Okay, moving on, I'll be back. My live stream is all done. It was a really good chat, so if you missed it, the replay will be here on my channel underneath the lives tab, so go check that out. I just scanned my arm and I am presently at a 76 on my glucose reading. I am gonna break my fast right now. What time is it? It's near 2:30, so it's as good a time as any. How long does that mean I have fasted since? Questions. 12. So I'm at like 18.5 hours fasted right now. It's totally fine. I think what I'm gonna do first is actually test something that I would just normally eat straight from the bag and not give a care about how much I ate, and that is pecans. We must see what it does to the blood sugar because I have a problem. And if I see hard data, I might actually regulate myself in a way that is effective. So I'm gonna grab pepper jack cheese, pecans, and pepperoni as my first test to see what happens. And we have food. I placed the pecan bag onto my little kitchen scale, zeroed it out, and just grabbed out handfuls as I saw fit. And that wound up being slightly more than 2 servings. I think it was 61 grams, which is like 5 grams over 2 full servings. And then I grabbed in a bunch of pepperoni, the amount I normally would just snag, and I weighed that. Turns out that also was 2 servings. It was 60 grams, which is fantastic. And then I pulled out some cheese, some pepper jack cheese, 4 slices, which makes that, how many servings? Gotta look. 4 slices, 4 servings. So 2, 4. I'm gonna eat this and then we're gonna see what the glucose does. Finish that food. I actually have not drunk any water. I need to drink some water. Ugh, terrible. I am ready to scan 78. And I plugged in my actual food that I actually ate, which is useful. I should probably pop that out of my ear so I can hear me better. I don't know if you do that. I just can't hear myself. So I went through, and on the app, you can plug in what you've had. It's also handy if your food does have a barcode. I don't have to guess exactly like what nutrients, what macros, all of that mess. I was able to scan my pecans, my pepper jack cheese, and my pepperoni, plug in the gram volume that I consumed, and I wound up with 1,009 calories in just that one meal. So that's much. My carbs here show an 8.67 for that meal, which is fascinating. Total fat was 94.68. So almost there. And I only got 32 grams of protein out of all of that. 1,000 calories, 30 grams of protein, not sufficient in my perspective, but that is what we have tested. And that is what we shall continue to test. I am gonna go ahead and work on dinner right now. I'm still waiting on my glucose numbers to come in for my little snacky plate to see how that fares. So I'm gonna just make the most of my time. So I stopped scanning the thing because there's no new data. Okay, I have a whole bunch of chicken thighs kind of cubed up over here. I have some breading here. I am making my General Tso's chicken. So I have a recipe for that. I have a video. Actually, I think I might have a couple of videos on that. I don't recall. Anyway, today, instead of using my homemade baking blend, I'm gonna do something similar to Neely's carnivore breading. Neely from Indigo Neely, if you are unfamiliar. In my big giant bowl here, I have mixed together some egg white protein powder, some gelatin. I did do a pinch of baking soda for crispiness. And then for my flour, I am using the Carnivore Crisps chicken breast flour. I'm gonna whisk all that together, coat my chicken. Oh, I'm gonna add some real salt. You can never have enough real salt. The Carnivore Crisps flour is seasoned with red salt, or Redmond's real salt as well. Not a ton though. So anyway, I'm gonna whisk all this together, coat my chicken, cook my chicken, and then maybe by then my numbers will be officially in from my breaking the fast meal. Yes. Alrighty, I have popped the chicken into the oven, ready to scan. We have a successful scan. Let us watch. Currently, it has been 1 hour, 2 minutes since I ate. My current reading is 80. It peaked at 84. Gosh, it's so bad. Okay, 1 more hour to go to verify whether or not my blood sugar comes back down to its initial blood sugar reading before I had the foods, and then we can move on. I had to come in here because the air fryer is going, the microwave is going, the oven is going on convection, which means the fan is whizzing through the whole process of keeping the things warm in there, and I am ready to scan my CGM again. We are going to pull it up, give it a wee scan. We are successful. Let us, oh my goodness. So my number is 91. So it dipped down low. What was that lowest point that it hit? I want to say, let's see, lowest point was 75, and that was 15 minutes after eating the food. And now we're up to a 91. Okay. What's going on there? That means that my lunch of pepper jack cheese, pepperoni, and pecans only gets a score of 9 because my blood sugar has not recovered back down to that, what was it, 76, 78 on the blood sugar numbers. Also, I have allergies that are really bothering me a whole heap, so that's irritating. I do think that my blood sugar increased slightly because my husband came home and I'm always excited to see him, so I think that that may have increased my glucose a smidge. Okay, here is my dinner plate. I have a bed of cauli rice with some General Tso's chicken. I would say that's probably 2 thighs worth of chicken, and I have a little bit of my extra General Tso's chicken sauce on there, and I have some of my homemade mayonnaise, about probably a tablespoon, and then I have a serving of some steamed broccoli. I had dinner at 5:08 approximately, and I did a scan, and at that time my blood sugar was at 92. It's now 6:13. Let's take a quick scan. We are at a 91 right there. There we go. Oh, it did drop down to 90 at some point. So presently we are at a 91, and we are going to go do a walk around the neighborhood. We'll see what that does to the blood sugars. Also, I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. It's slowly degrading here. Apparently there's some wildfires up in Canada, which has caused the allergens to be significantly worse, and I'm feeling all that, so it's a good time around here. Do I have insulation in my hair? Can you check me here? Okay. I've been helping my husband. He is installing a new bathroom fan in our bathroom right now. And as you can hear, just the allergies are just, they're enveloping me, and my throat is getting less and less strong as the time passes. But I have taken notes. I love the app here because I can add little notes about stuff that we're doing. You know, doing things like this is out of the norm. Therefore, it's possible to, you know, have a little bit of a bump in the glucose. I did a 2.08 mile walk after dinner. So that pretty much, my blood sugar didn't really move on that one. My dinner got a perfect 10 on my score with the Nutrisense scoring system, meaning that my glucose, excuse me, my glucose was at point A, and then within 2 hours, my glucose was either at or below my original point A glucose. So dinner was a thumbs up. So if you have not tried my General Tso's chicken, I encourage you to go try that recipe out. I will try to remember to link that somewhere in the places and the stuff and the things. So anyway, I do currently really want some decaf coffee, and I kind of want heavy cream in it. One thing I noticed when we did the CKM testing was that heavy cream helped my keto numbers rather than detracting from it, even though all heavy whipping cream has carbs. It's becoming more and more difficult to project my voice. Forgive me. Okay, I've had my eating window open for 5 hours and 20 minutes or so. I think that we're going to wrap up this particular project hopefully in the next hour or two. You know how these projects go. You go into it expecting it to take X amount of time, and then there's all kinds of things that you encounter, so you have to kind of modify, and it winds up taking Z amount of time, and you know, the delta is larger than you expected, so I'm sure this will be at least another hour. Especially once you tack on cleanup. We've been trying to clean up as we go, but it's not easy to manage that. Okay, anyway, current blood sugar is at a 90, which is fine and dandy for me. And if I do decide to have that coffee, you know I'm going to share that with you. And I'll also take a final nighttime reading on my Nutrisense here, and then eventually go to bed. And bed sounds really nice. Do you know why bed sounds really nice? It's because then whenever you're done sleeping, there's more coffee. And that's what I always look forward to in the morning. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. I would love to have you subscribe and hang around while we're on this CGM adventure to see what things cause different impacts on my specific body. So go ahead and subscribe and hang around. For my returning viewers, I'm excited to bring you along on this adventure. I really liked doing the CGM back in December, I believe it was. And I really enjoyed doing the CKM, the continuous ketone monitor as well. So I find that the glucose might have a more applicable set of data than the CKM in my day-to-day life. So I'm excited to go on this adventure with you. Okay, it is 8:53, and as come on camera, 8:53. And we are still working on the bathroom fan situation. However, I want to drink this before 10 p.m. I just scanned my, let me see if I can get this thing to focus. I just scanned my CGM at 8:49, and I'm at an 89. I went ahead and added, where did it go? Snack. There it is. Maybe I need to hold it up. I added a decaf K-cup and 1 tablespoon of heavy cream, and that is right in here, which is fantastic. So we're going to see how that affects my glucose. Just still hanging out there in the high 80s, low 90s. It's been a couple days since I applied my new CGM through Nutrisense. Side note, I have a link in my description box down below that will give you more information. If you plug in your email address to get more information, it doesn't cost you anything, but it will give me a little bit of kickback and help support my channel. So if you wanted to support my channel in a cost-free way to you, that would be a great way to do it. Let's talk about my evening numbers. I had a cup of coffee with cream, and that was around like 8:50 p.m. My blood sugar was right at 89. It then sort of peaked at 90 within an hour, or like within an hour and a half or so. And then it started to drop off pretty steadily throughout the rest of the night. It was at about 82 after 2 hours post drinking my coffee. But then throughout the middle of the night, my blood sugar dipped a lot lower. Green means you're in a good zone for Nutrisense's parameters. Orange means a little bit cautious. The lowest my glucose dropped was to 60, which is in the orange zone for the Nutrisense app. And I actually got in the low 60s 3 separate times, around midnight, right at 2 a.m., and then right at 3 a.m. And 2 and 3 a.m. I hit 60 milligrams per deciliter. So as it got closer and closer to waking time, my glucose steadily climbed up the scale. And when I did wake up, I was at an 84. And then I had a dawn phenomenon peak, fasted peak at 1:23 right at 8 a.m. So I definitely experienced the whole like dawn phenomenon, and it came back down without much issue. I mean, it came back down pretty quickly. Within 15 minutes, I was back down to 114. I was back below 100 by like less than an hour. So it was not something that was sustained higher blood glucose. I really like having a CGM because I can see not just like what the peaks and the valleys are, but I can look and see how quickly my body responds to those different extremes. And that gives me some comfort to know that I am not just totally messed up metabolically. So there's that. I've mentioned the CKM a few times at this point, and if you would like to see what I tested on the CKM, I'm going to leave the first video right over here. I hope to see you over there.